I want to get your assessment on the field.
Okay.
You just give me kind of the first word that pops to mind.
All right.
Donald Trump.
Smart.
What do you say to those who say that a possible Trump candidacy is a joke? That this is a publicity stunt. This is a way to get more attention for yourself.
Well, interestingly, I filed applications last time, and I actually filed my net worth because I'm a private person, so nobody knows. And people were really shocked at the number, and now the number's a lot bigger than it was.
So why not sign the other bills, though, so some of these workers can get paid, the government
You
get
think
more?
I should do that?
Yeah,
No, do you think I should do that, John?
Well, I mean, it's not for me to say
I watch
that.
your one-sided reporting. Do you think I should do that?
John, it's
no,
not
seriously,
my decision.
John, do you think I should just sign?
Well, the argument has been made that
tell
you
me.
can sign these bills that have nothing to do with
John,
border
do you
security.
think I should just sign?
And I'm saying that if you sign that, these workers can start getting paid. The government can start working.
So you would do that if you were in my position? You'd do that?
I'm not in your position. I'm asking you if that's something you will do.
I'm asking you, would you do that if you were in my position? If you would do that, you should never be in this position. Because you'd never get anything done.
With you, we say this a lot in this campaign. We've never seen anything like this before. But right now, you've got panic at the top ranks of the Republican Party. Trump seems to be at war with the entire party establishment right now. And you're reporting something pretty startling right now. You've got senior officials inside the Republican Party actually exploring what to do if Trump drops out?
This is absolutely unprecedented. First of all, I am told that RNC Chairman Reince Priebus is furious that he has had multiple discussions with Trump, telling him he needs to drastically change course. But here's the news. I am told that senior officials at the party are actively exploring what would happen if Trump dropped out, how to replace him on the ballot. The answer, George, is they can't force him out. He would have to go out voluntarily. And then it would be the 168 members of the RNC, through a complicated process, they would pick a new candidate. It would have to happen by early September.
But they think that's a real possibility?
He is so unpredictable right now. They are so unable to control his message that they just don't know, and they clearly think it is a possibility, which is why they're looking at these rules.
So, Matt,
the argument there is that Pence is the anchor that is keeping Trump in the race, that if Pence were to make a big statement by dropping out of the race, leaving the ticket, that it would put incredible pressure on Trump to get out of the race. There's no indication that Pence will do that, but George, I tell you, if this does not go well tonight in this debate, I would not rule out the possibility that Mike Pence would do just that he would leave the ticket. The red states are states that we have rated advantage Trump, blue, advantage Hillary Clinton, gray are the toss-ups. And if you look at it right now, George, Hillary Clinton, even just with the states that already advantage her, is at 275 electoral votes, enough to become president.
Wrong.
that's her clearest path to victory, but she's got several paths.
Yeah, she has several paths. The first is simply to hang on to those blue states, particularly right here. This is her big blue firewall. Wisconsin.
CNN now projects that Donald Trump will carry the state of Wisconsin. He will win Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, states that they are looking at in the final week, states that Trump has shown signs of life. If she hangs on to that, she wins narrowly. But the other one, George, is this. This really does it, the state of Florida. If Hillary Clinton can win the state of Florida, and right now they feel confident down there, it is lights out for Donald Trump.
Wrong.
And CNN projects Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida. With its 29 electoral votes, Donald Trump wins Florida.
About it.
And what about, Mr. President, what about Michael Cohen? Are you considering...
Thank you very much. Stupid question. Go ahead. Anybody else, please?
If I can follow up on this question of the HHS Inspector General, and by the way, her name was Christy Grimm, and it wasn't so much her opinion, but they interviewed 323 different hospitals.
Well, it still could be her opinion. When was she appointed? I'm
not sure when she was
appointed. Would you do me a favor? Let me know.
I'll check.
No, let me know now. I have to know now, John. Let me know now. Because we are doing an incredible job in testing. Wait.
I'll tell you.
How many do you want to ask?
No, I was going to answer your question you asked me. She was appointed in January of this year. to her current position as the principal deputy inspector
Okay,
general.
we're going to take a look at it. Go ahead.
I know you don't want to talk about the Inspector General report, but testing is still a big issue in this country. When can hospitals
Put the
expect?
slide up again, please.
When can hospitals expect to receive a quick turnaround of
Are you
these
ready?
test results?
Are you ready? Hospitals can do their own testing also. States can do their own testing. States are supposed to be doing testing. Hospitals are supposed to be doing testing. Do you understand that? We're the federal government. Listen to me. We're the federal government. We're not supposed to stand on street corners doing testing. They go to doctors. They go to hospitals. They go to the state. The state is a more localized government. How long has that person been in government? Could I ask you that?
Did serve in the previous administration.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. Oh, I see. You didn't tell me that, John. You didn't tell me that. Did serve in the previous administration. You mean the Obama administration. Thank you for telling me that. See, there's a typical fake news deal.
You asked me when she was appointed. I told you when she was appointed.
You're a
by your
third-rate
administration.
reporter, and what you just said is a disgrace, okay? You asked me, you said, sir, just got appointed. Take a look at what you said now. I said, when did this person, how long in government? Well, it was appointed in the Obama administration. Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much. You will never make it. Go ahead, please.
Even after all you have seen, ISIS prisoners freed, all the humanitarian disaster, you don't have any regret for giving Erdogan the green light to invade?
I didn't give him a green light.
Well, did you tell him?
That's
Did he
the same
defy
thing
you?
as you just, when you make a statement like that, it's so deceptive. Just the opposite of a green light. First of all, we had virtually no soldiers there. They were mostly gone. There was never given a green light. They've been wanting to do that for years, and frankly, they've been fighting for many, many years. And when you ask a question like that, it's very deceptive, John. It's almost as deceptive as you showing all of the bombings taking place in Syria, and it turned out that the bombing that you showed on television took place in Kentucky. So, and I'm not even sure that ABC apologized for that, but certainly it was a terrible thing. I'm looking at this, I say, wow, that's pretty bad. And it was in Kentucky, it wasn't in Syria, so I don't know what you're going to do about that, but I think ABC owes an apology.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's all jealous and shit, because I'm like the lead singer of the band, dude. And I think everybody's got a problem with me, dude, and they need to take it up with me after the show.
You have daily briefings with the president sometimes speaking for holding forth for up to 2 hours with reporters in that room. There clearly has been a political message as well as a really important public health message. So I think, Judy, there's really two ways to look at this. One, should these briefings be carried live, from beginning to end by the various networks?
The president, as you know, John, has gone after a number of reporters, including our own Yamiche Alcindor. We're proud of the way she's conducted herself.
You've said repeatedly that you think that some of the equipment that governors are requesting, they don't actually need. You said New York might not need 30,000. You said it on Sean Hannity's Fox News. You said that
why don't you people act? Let me ask you.
You said
why
some
don't
states.
Why don't you act in a little more positive? It's always trying to
My
get you.
question to you
Get you.
Including our own Yamiche Alcindor. We're proud of the way she's conducted herself.
You mean my White House aides lied? What about his aides? What about Mueller's aides? He didn't say that at all. You're untruthful when you ask. You are untruthful. When you ask that question, you're untruthful.
He's reporting on Michael Cohen every single day. He's talking to millions of people about it. As a reporter, you have to call into question whether or not you can objectively start talking about whether or not this lawyer is problematic if he's now someone who's given you legal advice and you're his client.
Should
That's
George Stephanopoulos have mentioned the fact he worked for the Clintons all those years? Should George Stephanopoulos have mentioned the fact he worked for the Clintons all those years?
I have no idea.
I'm asking you the same question.
I have no idea.
You'd have no idea, but you do render a judgment on Trump, but not on George.
I'll say this. I think as a reporter, if I'm someone who has connections to the person that I'm interviewing, I probably would mention that. I'm not saying that George Stephanopoulos.
I probably would mention that. I'm not saying that George Stephanopoulos.
Sure, George Stephanopoulos has mentioned he had a relationship with the Clintons for all those years.
I think there's a strong case to be made.
Why don't you act in a little more positive? It's always trying to
My
get
question to you
get
is-
you, get you.
Suburban white women who look at his attacks on Mexicans and Muslims and blacks and flee and do not want to vote for him for that reason. So this idea of this election being divided, it's not just women versus men, because the electorate is not that divided. So now we have this idea that he's going after women, he's groping white women, and that could be my daughter. That empathy issue is something that's really problematic.
Including our own Yamiche Alcindor. We're proud of the way she's conducted herself. What about when he's gone after you and others? I mean, how should reporters process this?
The president has made some outrageous attacks on her, has responded in strange ways to perfectly legitimate questions by attacking her personally.
Perfectly legitimate questions.
By attacking her personally.
Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert!
Legitimate questions by attacking her personally. And I think that what Yamiche has done is what I've tried to do as well, which is don't take the bait. But I think that the danger here, when he attacks, one of the reasons why he attacks us, Judy, is because he wants people to see us as his opposition. You know, he has been explicit about this. He has said the media is the opposition party. So if he gets people to believe that, then as he told Leslie Stahl famously in 2016, they won't believe it when you do negative stories about me.
And at one point, he started to attack the press, and it's just me and my boss and him. He has a huge office, and he's attacking the press. And there were no cameras, there was nothing going on. And I said, you know, that is getting tired. Why are you doing this? You're doing it over and over, and it's boring, and it's time to end that. You know, you've won the nomination, and why do you keep hammering at this? And he said, you know why I do it? I do it to discredit you all and demean you all, so when you write negative stories about me, no one will believe you.
He said it.
That's called the fake news. Fake news.
He wants you to be confused. And it's worked. Many of you, like me, are probably wondering why did Leslie Stahl, one of the leading journalists of our time, the first journalist to interview Trump after the 2016 election, why did she hold on to this nugget for the better part of 2 years? Beats me.
It's a very deceptive world. The other thing I've really learned is I never knew how dishonest the media was. I really mean it. I'm not saying that as a soundbite. I never knew how dishonest.
I'm going to change the subject again. And there were no cameras, there was nothing going on. And I said, you know, that is getting tired. Why are you doing this? You're doing it over and over, and it's boring, and I really mean it. I'm not saying that as a soundbite. I never knew how dishonest. I'm going to change the subject again. It's time to end that. You know, you've won the nomination, and why do you keep hammering at this? And he said, you know why I do it? I do it to discredit you all and demean you all.
But
so
even
when
the way you
write
ask me a question, like about separation,
me, no one will believe you.
When I say Obama did it, you don't want to talk about it.
No,
when I say I did it, let's make a big deal.
I'm going to run your answer, but you did it 4 times.
I'm just telling you that you treated me much differently on the subject.
I disagree, but I don't want to have that fight with you.
Hey,
All
it's
right,
okay.
We'll have another fight with you.
Leslie, it's okay. In the meantime, I'm president and you're not.
I am your voice.
I want to get your assessment on the field. Okay. You just give me kind of the first word that pops to mind.
All right. Interesting.
Baba Booey.